In this module, we are going to discuss about physical properties of haloalkanes. The representation of haloalkane is done by Rx. Some general physical properties are that CH3, CH2, Cl. Yeah, fluoromethane, bromomethane, chloromethane as well as ethyl chloride, these members are generally exist in their gaseous state. They exist in gaseous state. Only these members exist in gaseous state. The other members that include iodomethane or methyl iodide and other member consisting carbon from 13 to 18, these members exist in their liquid state, and the other member which are consisting carbons above than 18, carbon more than 18, they exist in their solid state. Waxy appearance they have. Some more properties are like that. Second is Rx, means haloalkanes are polar. These are polar. Polar means that there is generation of charge over the compound. We take CX bond where C from R and X is halogen. Generally the carbon in this are less electronegative and halogen is more electronegative. It is capable of taking the shared pair of electron towards itself partially. That's why it acquires negative charge, and it partially donates, so it acquires a positive charge. The generation of charge work like this. Cx, due to bond polarity, X is more electronegative, it will take the shared pair of electron towards itself. It will acquire negative charge and it will acquire positive charge. But these charges are partial. That means the electrons are not completely donated and gained by the other atoms. Means the shared pair of electron is moved more towards this halogen atom from the center. Means this is shared pair of electron and it has moved towards this one more. That's why it acquired partial negative, and it has moved away from this. That's why it acquired positive charge. Next property is Rx, means haloalkanes are insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. Being polar, they are unable to form hydrogen bond. Being polar, they are unable to form hydrogen bond. To form hydrogen bond, that's why they are insoluble in water due to the lacking of hydrogen bonding. Next property, when haloalkanes are tested using flame test on copper wire, they give green edge flame. They give green edge flame, means the flame will be like this, but the edges of the flame would be green in color. Green in color like this. Now we are going to discuss about chemical properties of haloalkanes. Before knowing this, we must know about the nature of haloalkanes. Nature of haloalkanes. The nature we are taking in illustration C and X. C represents the carbon from alkyl group and X is halogen, that means halide. There is a there is a bonding of electrons. There is a bonding of electron between these atoms. Sharing of electron like this. This is sharing. Means the electron cloud, shared electron cloud lies between the center of these two atoms nucleus. But due to strong nature of electron attracting tendency, we can shade that electronegativity. This shade pair of electron moves towards halogen atom, away from carbon and towards. That's why it acquires a partial negative charge and it acquires partial positive charge. Partial negative charge, why? Because it has shifted the shared electron cloud towards itself, not completely taken. If it has completely taken, then the charge would be negative. But the shared electron pair had shifted towards that side more. That's why it acquired the change. These phenomena results in the generation of polarity. Polarity means generation of positive and negative charge on a compound, leading to many sort of reactions. And we generally say that halogen atoms are capable of removal. Due to their electronegativity, any atom that is capable of donating electron to this halogen atom will try to move toward that compound, leaving the carbon alone. That's why the reaction that haloalkanes undergo are generally nucleophilic reactions. What are nucleophilic reactions? We know about that. Nucleophile means nucleus loving. That means on them, means they are attracted towards positive charge that lies in the nucleus. That means if they are attracted towards the positive charge, they themselves will be negative. That's why the charges will attract each other. This negative charge will try to move towards this positive charge to neutralize itself. So the reaction that undergoes means nucleophilic reactions are those reactions in which the halogen atom will leave this CX bond and another nucleophile, that is another negatively charged species, will attack over here and take over its place. We have discussed the CX bond nature. Now I am taking another example of Y. It is our haloalkane molecule in which it has positive and it has negative charge. This is itself negative compound. We are taking just an example of Y as an epitome. The Y itself is negative. That means it itself is negative, then it is attracted towards positive charge. Those species which are attracted towards positive charge are called as nucleophile. Means this is nucleophile. Here halogen is negatively charged, it is also attracted towards the positive charge, that's why it is also a nucleophile. Here the X is also a nucleophile. Here is a nucleophile. Generally the reaction which undergoes, I have told you that the reaction which are done by haloalkanes are nucleophilic substitution. Which means one nucleophile will change its place with another. Means this nucleophile will attack and take its place. Then the reaction will move like this. The X would be as its place, Y will take its place. It will be CY and CX. means one nucleophile has eliminated the another, means taken its place by substituting itself. Now we are going to proceed towards the reaction we are looking at. Now let's take reactivity order. Generally the halides we use are we go from order in the periodic table: fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Here we are taking R, means we are going to look at its reactivity order. Which of the haloalkane are more reactive? Reactivity order. Reactivity order here is depends on nature of CX bond. Nature of CX bond, that is our polar bond. These bond is partial positive and partial negative. These bond is developed due to the generation of differences in the electronegativity, where carbon is positive and halogen atom will always be at negative. If we go on periodic table, on going down, thus atomic size increases. Atomic size increases. If the atomic size increases, then what happen? Internuclear distance. Internuclear distance means the distance between these two, the internuclear distance goes on increasing. Means there will be separation between them. Less separation between this means it is more electronegative. The size we go on, here is less size difference, here will be more, here will be more, here will be more. The more the distance between, the more will be the charge generation. Means this would be at the higher order. Ri, due to more distance between the halide atom and alkyl group, there will be more distance, so more polar nature will be developed. Then we go on, less than this lies this, then this, then this. This reactivity order, what it tells? Fate of reaction. Fate of reaction means how will the reaction proceed. Means this is the reactivity order in which the iodides, alkyl iodides are more electronegative. There is more electronegativity difference between the atoms due to their size and distance. It is more reactive. Then last is means alkyl bromide, alkyl chloride and alkyl fluoride. Now the reactivity order is this, means the most reactive would be Ri, then RBr, then RCl, then Rf. This is the most reacting species we can say that, and this is the least reactive species in the family. Means generally the reaction are going to be between them, and rarely reaction are seen between them because it is the least reactive of all. Why it is least reactive? Because small atomic size. And here the atomic size is more internuclear distance. More distance means more charge generation. And going down that group, charge also increases. Charge increases too. If charge increases, then the difference between the charge will also increase. That's why it will become easy to separate these and undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now the first type of reaction that we are taking place will be reaction with KOH. KOH stands for potassium hydroxide, and here we are using its aqueous solution, because aqueous solution and alcoholic solution give different reactions. Now I am taking an example, that is Rx, that is an epitome, plus KOH. Let's start with generating charge. It will have a partial positive, partial negative. Potassium donates electron to hydroxide, that's why it have positive, and it has negative charge. What we talked about earlier, that the reaction between haloalkanes are nucleophilic. Nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophilic substitution. That means nucleophile will substitute each other. Means this is negative and this is negative. These are nucleophiles. These nucleophile will attack at this place and will remove it, whereas it will come to this place. There is substitution. Nucleophiles substituting each other. Then the product that we are getting will be R. OH is stronger nucleophile than halide. Then it will take its place. Then it will form ROH, and the remnant halide will go with K, then forming KX. The compound here formed will be alcohol alongside potassium bromide. Potassium bromide. Alongside potassium bromide. Now let's take us some more examples. C2H5Cl plus KOH. What will go further? These Cl will go with K, leaving OH for ethyl group. The product will be C2H5OH, forming KCl as a byproduct. Let's take another example. CH3 CHCl plus KOH. Then how will the reaction proceed? The same way. One nucleophile will substitute other. This will be the byproduct. Means first KCl will be formed as byproduct and hydroxide will attach itself to this position. CHOH CH3. Now the second type of reaction are reaction with alcoholic KOH. The previous reaction was with aqueous. Now we are taking alcoholic KOH. I am telling this thing first that alcoholic KOH gives the reaction type that are beta elimination reaction. Beta elimination reaction. Now we take an example. This example is CH3, CH2. Let's take for illustration. Let me make it more easier. I am drawing its structure diagram. This one. This is our CH3, CH2, Cl. Here what happens when we take it to go reaction with alcoholic KOH? Alcoholic. You have to remember this. This is very important. Alcoholic KOH gives beta elimination reaction. Beta elimination reactions are those the carbon on which a functional group is attached is called alpha, and the carbon next to this would be beta. If there would be another carbon this side, that would be beta 2. Now we are taking one beta carbon here. Then what will happen? First will happen that these K will take itself positive, then it will take the negative part of the reactant. Then it will eliminate the KCl. Now what happened? What has left? OH from this part and the H from beta carbon will be eliminated like this. Means OH from here and one H from beta carbon would be eliminated. That means elimination of water. Occurs. Now what we have left? We have left that this hydrogen has been gone and this chlorine atom has been gone. What means that one bond of this carbon and one bond of this carbon is free. Then it will form CH, double bond between itself, HH. Means the compound we take reaction further, that was our ethyl chloride. But when it underwent reaction with alcoholic KOH, potassium hydroxide, it formed ethene. Or we can say that ethylene, and the KCl and H2 are formed as byproduct. You have to remember this thing. If there is only one beta carbon, then you have to eliminate the hydrogen from that place. But if there are more than one beta carbon attached to the alpha carbon having chloride atom, then there will be a rule applied that is called Setzeff rule. Now, in within the alcoholic QH, I am taking another example, that is, I have to explain the Setzeff rule. That's why I am taking this example. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbon compound. That means 4 carbon. That's why it is butyl. Butyl, and a chlorine atom is added, that is butyl chloride, or you can say that 2-chloro-butane. This is our compound. Here we are taking that the chloride atom attached to the carbon is alpha and the other adjacent carbons are beta. This is beta and this is beta. Now we are making the reaction with KOH, and the KOH is alcoholic. Now what will the reaction proceed? From which side will be the hydrogen atom? Chlorine will be eliminated from this, that is for sure. But hydrogen atom will be removed from which? Then here a rules comes. That rules is called Setzeff rule. Setzeff rule. And according to this rule, beta elimination takes place to the carbon having the least number of hydrogen atoms. Means if we are taking beta elimination reaction, these are two possible sites for the beta elimination. But this carbon has 3 hydrogen atom attached to it, but this carbon has only 2. So that's why, according to Setzeff rule, the hydrogen atom that is going to will be removed from the carbon having the least hydrogen atoms. Means the potassium will take chloride from here, and hydrogen will be go from the carbon atom having the least count of hydrogen. Then our product that will be formed will be CHHH. Then carbon elimination of 1 point is free, side adjacent carbon, 1 hydrogen is replaced, so 1 is free, and then there will be CH3. Now these two have 1 bonds free, they will acquire bonds between them. That means what the product we got here will be, there will be 2 bonds between this carbon formed after the reaction. So we have to remember that's what Setzeff rule, beta elimination takes place at carbon of least hydrogen atom. It doesn't mean that hydrogen won't be get eliminated from this carbon, but according to the Setzeff rule, this will be the major product. That means this will be our major product, and there means 80% this product will be formed during the reaction. But there will be also chances that double bond may attain not from this side, may attain this side between these two carbons. That is possible, and then the product that will be formed in the quantity will be minor, about 20%. Means both the product are formed, but according to Setzeff rule, both the product will be formed, but one will be major and another would be minor. The minor will be, we are first taking I erase the one that will be a major product, and the written on the board is minor product. This will be formed around 20%. So this is the Setzeff rule. The third type of reaction we are discussing about, let's take third and fourth simultaneously. Reaction with KCN and reaction with AgCN. Now how will the reaction will go? Let's take an example. C2H5Cl plus KCN. The reaction will be easily, there will be a nucleophilic substitution, but remember this is an ionic compound. In ionic compound, K is plus and cyanide is negative, and nucleophilic substitution will take place, means it acquire perfectly negative charge, then it will come to this place and replace this, and this chloride atom will go. The product will be C2H5Cn plus KCl. This is ionic compound, there would be a normal reaction between them. And here if we say that in this compound our carbon is attacking species. Carbon is attacking, that's why this ethyl group will form bond with carbon. This will be means this reaction when KCl underwent, the product will be cyanides. Products will be cyanide and this will be ethyl cyanide. And byproduct is KCl. But now take its example of AgCN. AgCN plus, we take example the example of C2H5Cl plus AgCN. AgCN, what will happen here? The thing that will happen here would be, this compound is covalent. That is the bonding between them is sharing, and the shared bond is much more stronger. That's why here the carbon will not form bond with this ethyl group. Why? Because it has formed sharing electron. Here the bond that will be formed would be by the lone pair that would be the present across the nitrogen. Here nitrogen will attack and replace chloride. So the product that we will get to see there would be C2H5NC plus the product AgCl will be eliminated. Here the product that is formed with is isocyanide. And this is ethyl isocyanide. You have to remember that when KCl underwent reaction, it will form cyanides due to the carbon as its attacking species. But when AgCyanide takes place reaction, it is an covalent compound, and covalent compound at shared pair of electron. So the shared atom will not form bond with the other. That's why nitrogen having the lone pair of electron will undergo reaction to form that is coordinate bond with the ethyl group, leaving carbon means nitrogen will be the attacking species here. You have to remember that KCl forms cyanide and AgCl will form isocyanide. Why the reason? Because it is ionic, carbon is free to attack. Here it is covalent compound and carbon is unable to form the compound due to the shared pair of electron. Now further, that the last reaction for today will be two reactions that are just exactly the previous reaction one. Here we are taking its KNO2 and AgNO2. Same thing happens. First let me take this structure in KNO2. This is the structure. Here it has positive, it has negative charge. This is the structure, and due to this structure, this compound is entirely ionic. Whereas if we take the structure of AgNO2, the structure is like this. Here nitrogen form one double bond with the oxygen, one coordinate bond with another oxygen. Let's look here. The bonded species is oxygen and here the bonded species is nitrogen. So the attacking reagent here in this case of reaction will be oxygen atom. And here the attacking species will be nitrogen atom. Now if we proceed, I am further telling when reaction underwent with nitrous potassium, the reaction, the product that are formed are alkyl nitrite, and when AgNO2 is used, then nitroalkane is formed. Now I am writing the reaction. KNO2 reacts with O. Let's see, Rx react with KNO2. Remember the attacking species here is oxygen. Then the product will be formed will be RONO and KX will be eliminated. Here the product formed will be alkyl nitrite. When oxygen form bonds, it is nitrite, not nitrate, nitrite. Now let's take this reaction example Rx plus AgNO2. Remember the attacking species is, this is also a covalent compound. I forget to write that. It is a covalent compound due to presence of a coordinate bond. But AgNO2, here the reacting species is nitrogen. Then the compound will be formed RNO2 and AgX will be eliminated. The compound formed will be called nitroalkane. Now this video lecture I am ending this because it has taken much more the time as I expected. The further reaction I will be pursued in the next video. Thanks for watching.